Hi there, it's Linda here. Thanks for joining me today as I play with the goodies you can see here for Scrapbook Boutique. I'm using my Kaisercraft Golden Pear Cluster dies, MFT's Celebrate die and my Brushos. So here you can see how I store my Brushos in their original box, and I've labelled them and written their colours on the top. And I'm going to be preparing 4 different watercoloured pieces today with the Brushos that I will then cut out with my different pear dies and the leaves that go with the pear. So I'm showing you the colours of Brusho that I'm using each time. I like to start with a wet watercolour card, so I spray it with my little mini mister first, and then I sprinkle on the Brusho pigmented powders and then add a little bit more water as you see me doing here, and let the pigments spread and blend. And when I'm happy with the look, I put it aside to dry. So here I go with piece number 2, spraying it, getting it nice and wet, adding my emerald green, which is probably one of my very favourite colours in the 12 pack. Sprinkling the pigmented powders on, giving them a little bit of time to move around with the wet card, adding a little bit more water, and if I'm happy with the result I'll put it aside and go on to the next one. If there's too much water and it seems to be pooling, I'll just use a tissue, as you saw me there, to lift it up. I do like the look of the texture you can achieve with the powders when they don't blend perfectly, so I really like that look, and I'm happy not to add too much water. It's a very personal thing, and you can achieve so many different looks with the Brusho powders. That's actually why I enjoy using them so much. So today I'm creating 4 watercoloured pieces. I want 2 that I'm going to use for the leaves and 2 that I'll use for the pears. In the end, I only end up using one of the pieces for the leaves, but I do cut 2 different coloured pears for my card. So here you see me adding a bit more water again, getting those colours, the yellow and the dark brown, to blend. Wiping up a little bit where it's got a little bit too saturated, and then putting it aside to dry. And on to piece number 4. This will be one that I use for my pears, and I'm adding the orange Brusho powder to this one. You'll see me using my little pokey tool there just to clear the hole that I have punched in the top of my Brusho bottles. When the powder's not sprinkling well, that's just how I clear it. So here's the end results, and I'm very happy with the way they turned out. Last time you would have seen me use the flowers from this die set on my card for Scrapbook Boutique. Today I've used the pears and the leaves. So I've laid them out on my card front where I want them to be, and I've adhered them with my liquid adhesive, and then just going around behind on the back, cutting off all the overhanging pieces. It's then a matter of choosing some patterned paper from the Black and White Basics pack from MFT, and I'm going to put that on my card front and then mount my pear piece on top of that with some craft foam for dimension. So here's the craft foam piece. I decided on lemon because it seemed to go quite well with my pears. Adding that on the back so that it gives it that little bit of dimension up from the card, and I end up adhering that to the very top of my card front. Instead of right in the centre, I decided I liked it up at the top for something a little bit different. Now I've cut the word Celebrate from black cardstock and also from black craft foam, so I'm just adhering the cardstock word on top of the craft foam piece while it's still all laid without being pulled apart. It's still all laid together, and just adhering that, giving it time to dry before I then separate it. Then again the liquid adhesive, tiny little dots on the back, and adding that to my card front. And then for some finishing touches today, I grabbed out the gorgeous Lilac Lane sequin set, which I am just in love with, the gorgeous colours in this sequin set. And this is the Lady Luck set with these gorgeous green and teal coloured sequins in it. I'm just adding those, and the little orange stars also come from that sequin set, so they're just perfect with these Brusho coloured pieces that I've created today. And with those sequins, my card is complete.